I'm Alishba Asif, presenting my presentation from Pakistan Islamia Higher Secondary School, Fujairah. Okay. So now, the enormity of climate change can be daunting and dispiriting. What can one person or even a nation do on their own to slow and reverse the climate change? First of all, listed here is a table of contents, so we'll be going through the introduction, causes of climate, effects, and proposed solutions. Now, many people sometimes confuse weather and climate with each other. So first, I'll define you what is weather and climate respectively. Weather is a day-to-day condition of a particular place, such as precipitations, clouds, winds, humidity, etc. Whereas, climate is the average weather pattern of a region over a long period of time. It can be over a period of 50 or 100 years. What is climate change? Climate change is a change in average or typical weather of a region or city. It refers to a broad range of global phenomena created predominantly by burning of fossil fuels which add heat-trapping gases to the atmosphere. Now the question is Earth climate really changing? What do you think? No, I'll explain you. Yes, the Earth climate is always changing. In the past, the Earth climate has gone through warmer and cooler periods, each lasting thousands of years. But the observations show that Earth climate has been warming. Its average temperature has risen a little more than 1 degree Fahrenheit during the past 100 years or so. This amount may not seem like much, but even small changes in the Earth's average temperature can lead to big impacts. Now we'll discuss the causes of climate change. So first, I would like to explain you the external causes. First one is solar activity. As we know that sun is a source of most of energy that drives biological and physical process in the world around us. The rate of energy from the sun changes slightly day to day. So even small changes in the solar activity can affect the Earth climate in significant and surprisingly complex ways. Second cause is the Earth's orbit. The Earth orbits the sun once per year, but it doesn't do so in a proper and perfect way. The Earth orbit is elliptical, not circular, and its axis is not tilted straight. These all factors change over time. They can make the Earth cooler or warmer because they affect how much radiations we receive from the sun. Now moving towards the internal causes, the first one is volcanic eruption. Volcanic eruptions have far-reaching effect on global climate. They produce large quantities of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere as a greenhouse effect. There have been times in the Earth's history when intense volcanism has significantly increased the carbon dioxide amount in the atmosphere and caused global warming. Secondly, ocean current. The oceans play a fundamental role in shaping the temperature zones on the land. Even the areas hundreds of miles away from coastline are still largely influenced by the global ocean system. The world's ocean is crucial to heating the planet. While land and atmosphere absorb some of the sunlight, the majority of sun's radiation is absorbed by the oceans. These oceans then act as massive heat-retaining solar panels and cause an increase in Earth's temperature. The third category consists of anthropogenic causes which are caused or influenced by the humans. First, emission of greenhouse gases. The increase in emission of greenhouse gases is the main cause of global warming. The gases like carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide help to trap heat in the Earth's atmosphere as a result of greenhouse effect. Secondly, particles and clouds. When water vapors evaporate from the surface of Earth, they form clouds. But when the dirty fossil fuels and greenhouse gases mix up with these particles, they form sulfuric acid, which causes the acid rain. Here we can see that the radiations from the sun warms the Earth's surface. So, without greenhouse gases, the Earth temperature was minus 18 degrees centigrade. But now, due to the increased greenhouse gases, it has risen to plus 15 degrees centigrade. How the industries cause climate change? Any idea? Okay. So, because the emissions from industries comprises of particles and greenhouse gases. The particles, which mostly has a cooling effect, are left in the atmosphere for 1 week. but the greenhouse gases are left in the atmosphere for 100 years, so they cause global warming. Now, what's an ice age? Can anyone tell me? Okay, I'll explain you. An ice age is a period of long-term reduction in the temperature of Earth's surface and atmosphere, resulting in the presence or expansion of continental and polar ice sheet and alpine glaciers. Here is a thermometer showing the ice age variations. As we can see that before 19th century, the temperature was below than 10 degrees. Till 19th century, it has risen to 15 degrees. Then from 19th to 20th century, we have observed a minor change. But due to the greenhouse gases and other factors, we are expecting a major change from 20th to 21st century onwards. Now, here is a graph separating human and natural influences on climate. The blue line shows natural and human factors, and the green line represents the natural factors only. As you can see that in 19th century, the temperature change was minus 0.7 degree Fahrenheit. It has gone through many up and downs, and from 1960 onwards, the natural and human factors has starting its temperature, and till the 20th century, it has risen to the climax of 1.7 degree Fahrenheit. Now, here is a flow diagram showing the effects of climate change. The climate change diverges path, and it has devastating effects on human health, such as it causes a stratospheric ozone depletion. Remember, stratosphere is the first layer of atmosphere. Due to the greenhouse gases, it causes the stratospheric ozone depletion, which in return cause the UV exposure, which are ultraviolet radiations from the sun. Then, stratospheric ozone depletion causes biodiversity loss and ecosystem function, which decline the fresh water, and due to decline in fresh water, there is desertification and land degradation, which also affect the agro-ecosystem productivity and population displacement. Now, how can we solve this problem, or how can we reverse the climate change? Here are some of the innovative solutions, like reduction of carbon footprint by changing our lifestyle and using CDR, carbon dioxide removal techniques such as geological sequestration. Sequestration is a process of removal or separating something. Now, what's a carbon footprint? A carbon footprint is a total set of green emissions emitted from the greenhouse gases caused by an individual, person, or an event. Here are some of the basic steps that all of us can implement to reduce the carbon footprint by changing our lifestyle, like carpooling at least once a week, unplug your computer every night, turn off the lights, and use the plastic-free material because the plastic is not recyclable, and use only cold water for laundry because for warming the water we basically need electricity or fuel, which cause the climate change. And similarly, shop online. Try to reducing your printing a little bit because more printing causes the more deforestation. Now, geological sequestration. It is a process of transferring carbon dioxide from the atmosphere to the depth of rocks. The process consists of three main steps, like capturing the carbon dioxide, transporting the carbon dioxide, and storing it inside the depth of rocks. The carbon dioxide is placed in the geological sequestration by a process known as injection wells. An injection well is similar to a water or oil well, but instead of drawing the material, we are injecting the carbon dioxide inside the earth. Now, here are the solutions that we proposed, that we have to implement. As our part, we have proposed these solutions. So, deleting the server junk and sky mining. You must be thinking, what is server junk? First of all, I would like to make you clear that server junk is much more different from the junk. For example, as we all know that Google has the world's largest server. Although we get so many informations from the Google, but in addition to that, much more useless things are stored on the Google. To store all those things, we need a large number of servers, and to maintain all those servers, we need a large energy consumption. So we propose a solution to delete the extra junk so we can reduce the number of servers and we can reduce our energy consumption. The main purpose for proposing this solution is that this is the most easiest and convenient solution ever. There is no technology and no science to implement in this. All of us can implement this technology. Our next and last solution is sky mining. Imagine if all the energy mankind will ever need is already present in the sky. Imagine if the solution to climate change is locked inside the carbon dioxide that is causing it. We have found a profitable solution to reduce all the world's carbon dioxide emission straight from the atmosphere and recycle the carbon inside the carbon dioxide. Just stop the world's addiction to dirty fossil fuels. What does it mean for society? It means that the emission from all the business, all the transport, all the production, and the emission from all the individuals can be removed or monetized by a process that we call sky mining. Sky mining combines carbon dioxide humps in fast-growing grass with our technology to eradicate all the emissions and recycle the carbon inside the carbon dioxide to create a clean fuel. This fuel is much cheaper than most of the fossil fuels, and in addition, it gives the world something else to burn without adding carbon dioxide to the atmosphere. It is much cheaper and it allows us to keep the dirty fossil fuel inside the ground. Now, sky mining deposits a large amount of carbon into the atmosphere as we plan to grass on larger land. This reverses the desertification, slow deforestation, and rebuild the soil on otherwise unused land to provide the future food security. Sky is the world's largest carbon mine, and sky mining allows us to take all its benefit and all its wealth. This is why we propose this solution. Now, moving towards the conclusion. This is our world, and climate change is a great threat to our world. We have to save our world. We have to save it for ourselves and for our new generations. We have to save it. We have to take some basic steps. Don't think that you can't do anything. Everyone should have to make their part. We have to take some basic steps, and these basic steps can lead us to success. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that amazing presentation. Can I have the rest of the team for the question and answer session?
Okay, thank you. So congratulations, nice presentation.
Thank you, sir.
One of the solutions that you proposed, obviously there were quite a few very innovative solutions, was this server junk, how to get rid of that. I feel that as an individual, you should have also captured or mentioned something which you can do. So I just give you one idea, very vague idea. So yes, deleting emails, maybe just one solution, but if you just halve the time that you spend on social media sites, so how much greenhouse gases or energy will that reduce? Have you ever thought about that?
Yes, sir. So actually, this is the world of media. This is the world of technology. We all can say this, but this is not an easy task to reduce our time, to spend less time on social media, because even for making this presentation, we have to search the social media, we have to search the internet, and for all the kinds of, for education, for searching purpose, for everything, we have to go through the internet. So we cannot spend less time, as we said.
You're absolutely right. I just didn't mean, accessing internet. I meant Facebook, Instagram, web chat, Snapchat, and the list goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
Right? Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Hi. Yeah, fabulous presentation. So
Thank you.
proud to see
Thank
you
you.
guys.
Thank you.
So a few points. I slightly disagree with my colleague here. I think social media is a wonderful channel for knowledge and innovation, and that's something you really need to focus on in this generation. But what I do agree with is don't use Facebook and social media for socializing. Use it for the knowledge platform that it can be. So a question that I had was, you focused a lot on sky mining and also technology, which I think is a great conversation to bring up. But sky mining, can you elaborate on sky mining? Because from my understanding, it's a corporation in the US that helps to reduce the footprint, but there's a lot of local solutions too, like smart cities. Dubai is something that has become quite an interesting solution towards what our climate change targets. So could you elaborate why you chose the sky mining versus other solutions?
Actually, we propose this solution because, as we know, getting anything from the artificial sources is obviously something difficult. But as we mentioned, that the sky is the world's largest carbon mine, and sky mining allows us to unlock all of its wealth and all of its energy, because it is a very useful process to actually reverse the deforestation, desertification, and obviously it reduces the climate change as well, because there is reverse in deforestation, which is a major cause of the climate change.
And one more point I would like to add, that as we mentioned, we recycle the carbon in carbon dioxide, and that carbon create the clean fuel which does not add carbon dioxide to the atmosphere. Obviously, all of us need the fuel for vehicles, for many purposes. We need the fuel, and that fuel emits the carbon dioxide which causes the climate change. So by creating a clean fuel which does not add carbon dioxide, we can reverse the climate change.
Any further questions?
Well, I must admit, that was one of the most innovative ideas I've come across. One thing that really helped me to understand a little bit is the fact that you mentioned about, and I want to hear from your mouth, from you, all three of you.
Okay.
Why did you say that unplug your computer?
Because sometimes we plug our computer for charging and then we forgot to switch out that, and that consumes a large amount of energy. The electricity, actually it consumes the electricity, and obviously we need the electricity. We can take the electricity by burning the fossil fuels and from various energy sources. So that's why we should unplug our computer so that there is less energy and electricity consumption.
As a matter of fact, you're absolutely right. It takes almost 75% of the energy consumption when it's plugged on.
Yeah.
So that's one of the best way that we can do to help to reduce the energy consumption. Thank you.
Thank you so much.